Nos encontramos aquí en Espíritu Santo, en esta área natural protegida del archipiélago de Espíritu Santo, en el Ámbar 3 con el capitán Mike McGettigan. Mike, thank you for having this conversation with us. How many years you've been traveling to the Sea of Cortez?
I've been in the Sea of Cortez since 1973.
We're talking about more than 40 years.
We are.
What changes you have been in the Sea of Cortez, basically in the Baja California Sur coast?
In the last 20 years, probably the biggest changes came in the reef fisheries along this coast between Loreto and Cabo Pumo. 20 years ago, Cabo Pumo decided that they weren't going to allow spearfishing and they were going to protect the area. And in 20 years, the increase in fisheries is unbelievable. There are more fish now in Cabo Pumo than there was when I was diving in 1974. But in the other national marine parks, like Loreto and here in Espiritu Santos, just the opposite has happened. While increases in Cabo Pumo, there's been tremendous decreases in the fisheries here. And that's primarily because of pistoleros and encerradores. They started 20 years ago, and at one point, 15 years ago, they were taking 30 to 40 tons of reef fish a night. And that's what has happened to Espiritu Santos. Even after it became a marine park, you saw continuing declines in the fisheries to where 2 years ago there were literally no parrotfish, no pargo dientón, no cabrilla. So in the last year there's been a strong movement called Espiritu Santos as parte de ti to change that, to put a vigilance plan in place that would stop the illegal fishing at night. And like you're here today, we're all here to take a look and see after 6 months, is there any changes that have happened? And absolutely, there's no question. So we know that this island is improving because of the vigilance and because of people being aware, people starting to realize that they got the most beautiful island archipelago in all the Sea of Cortez. There's nothing like this. When I got here 40 years ago, this time of year in May and June, the ocean would be boiling with small tuna. There were tuna everywhere, there were birds everywhere. Now you look around, none of that exists anymore. So I feel that this is going to be the next Cabo Pumo. There's no question the fish are coming back, and if the people in the town care about this island and there's vigilance, the authorities are doing more and more. ROC has a vigilance program out here.
What is ROC?
ROC is Red de Observatorio Ciudadano. It's a citizen-funded vigilance program that's working extremely well now. And I think in another year you're going to be amazed at what the differences you see in this island.
Now, the practice of these pistoleros is forbidden. Nevertheless, they continue doing it because it's very difficult to keep an eye on all these coasts. But what they do with this fish, because also it's prohibited to buy fish with this whole of the No,
it's not prohibited to buy the fish at all. It's illegal to catch the fish, but it's not illegal to sell them. It's not illegal to buy them. It's not illegal to eat them. But so really, it's the townspeople. If they care about these reefs, they make a conscious decision on their own to say, listen, I don't need parrotfish. The reefs need the parrotfish more than I do. And the reefs on this island will never recover if there aren't parrotfish.
So it's not enough the laws. It's the people, the community has to be involved.
Has to be involved. They're being involved right now. All the restaurants in La Paz no longer sell parrotfish.
But because there's a campaign, no?
Right, there's a campaign. The Espiritu Santos as parte de ti campaign is definitely working. The restaurants are behind it. Mega, Chedraui, and Walmart don't sell parrotfish anymore. And you're definitely seeing more parrotfish out here, right? I mean, it's a sea change.
What is the importance of the parrotfish?
Parrotfish is the one fish that cleans the reef. If you don't have parrotfish, then your reefs look like these did 2 years ago, where they're just algae-covered rocks. They look like there's a layer of mud and algae on them. And the parrotfish eat that, and when the parrotfish clean off the reefs, the soft corals come back and start to grow. So if you want them back, you're going to have to leave the parrotfish alone. I know there has to be another Cabo Pumo soon, or there's no future at all for the Sea of Cortez.
Some of the problems, without a doubt, are the fleet, the commercial fleets for shrimps. From Sinaloa, they took all the fish and they throw it away because they're just looking for shrimps.
Trawl nets.
Well, what do you think about this?
Well, I mean, it's a disaster. The Pacific fleet of shrimp boats ended up being about 4,000 shrimp boats. And I mean, the devastation that they brought in the Sea of Cortez is unbelievable.
Talking about the sport fishing species, what happened with the Dorado?
By 1985, 1986, the fleet of small pangas from the mainland, from Guaymas, were coming over here and landing in Guaymas daily 80 to 100 tons of Dorado. And one of the panga longliners told me that they quit by 1988, that there just weren't enough Dorado left. That's a long time ago. So now, the last two tournaments, the big East Cape shootout for Dorado. 2 years ago, it was won by a Dorado that weighed 5.6 kilos. Last year, it was won by a Dorado that weighed 5.2 kilos. 2 years ago, there were 85 boats fishing for 3 days to catch a Dorado no bigger than this for a tournament win. They're gone. Will they come back? If any fish could come back, it would be a Dorado. But the other thing I see, there's no more sardines. And when the sardines were gone before, the anchovies replaced them. Now I don't see anchovies, I don't see sardines, and it's been since 2012 since I've seen any volume of sardines in the Southern Sea.
Mike, anything you want to add?
Armando, I'm convinced that after our 4-day trip, looking at all the places where we used to hunt cabrilla or fish cabrilla, and every one of them is showing signs of improvement. This is going to be the next success story in the Sea of Cortez. If you can do it here, if you can duplicate Cabo Pumo here in La Paz, then you can replicate it in a marine park in Loreto next. I mean, if you can do it in a big city like La Paz, get the citizens involved, and take care of this amazing island that has 60,000 visitors a year, then the future is bright.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having us in the Ambar 3.
It's always a pleasure, Armando.